Today's project is going to be my first real modification to my 2021 Tundra. I just got in the mail this 8-inch BA muffler from Dirty Deeds Industries. Comes with a resonator, a new gasket, and some clamps. I'll go through all the tools that it's going to take to get it done, as well as the full install process. I'm hoping to get this thing done in about an hour and a half. I'm going to take some sound clips before the install, so we'll have something to compare it to. I'm not going to go too in depth, but I'll do a cold start, a rev, and I'll do a takeoff from the cul-de-sac. Should be pretty easy, so let's get into it. Here's everything that we're going to need to install this muffler system. I have a pry bar and some WD-40 for the hangers, a ratchet, a 12mm, a 14mm, an impact if you have one, a 2-inch hole saw, and a drill. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and loosen this clamp up here, which is on the back of the muffler and is your tailpiece. It's a 12mm. Yours is probably going to be a good bit rustier than this unless it's pretty new. Once you have it disconnected, you should be able to grab your tailpipe and let it hang down just like this. Just going to move this back for now and out of the way. So now we can move on and take the rest of the muffler out. Now I can go ahead and loosen the bolts here. There's 4 of them. And these are 14 mils. Again, these will probably be way rustier on yours unless you have a new truck. Now the muffler is just being held on by the hangers. Next up, we need to loosen these 2 hangers. There's one here and one here. I'm going to shoot them with a little WD-40 just to make the rubber a little more pliable. It is winter time out here. I'd suggest doing this no matter when though. Once you have that done, I'm going to take my pry bar here and just try to lift them all. Get them started. That one's almost out. Okay. And this one's out. So they're only about halfway in now. I'll easily be able to slide them out. And now we'll get the last hanger that's behind the muffler. I have the last hanger right here, and I should be able to get the muffler out after this one. Now I'm just going to work it out of the front 2 hangers. Try to set it down. Here we go. Ready for the new muffler to install. Once you're ready to install your new muffler, take your gasket here and slip it over. That way when we put everything together, it'll just bolt right up. To put the exhaust in, I'm basically just going to do the reverse order. Get it in the hanger here, these 2 here, and we'll bolt it up. Okay, I think that'll be close enough. We can throw some bolts in the front here. Just gonna get everything started, hit it with my impact, and then do the final tightening with my ratchet. Don't worry if you notice a little gap in between these. That's by design, and it should be there. You should see the ears close up, but in the middle there will be a gap. You don't have to go crazy with these, but make sure they're tight. After that, we can mock up the tailpipe and mark for the resonator. Once you have your tailpipe mocked up, you'll take your resonator. It's gonna go right here behind your, in between your spare tire and your pumpkin. You're gonna try to figure out where exactly you want it. Kind of clamps onto this pipe. It looks pretty good right there. I'm going to take a marker and mark all around this flange. Once you have it marked, we'll take everything out so we can drill it. So we'll take the resonator off and the tailpipe. And there's one hanger right here that you'll have to take off. Here's where I marked out. I'm just going to take a piece of cardboard or something and get a rough center line so we can make our hole. And I don't think this needs to be perfect. It's good enough for me. I'm going to take a punch and punch the hole here. If you don't have one, it's not the end of the world. For this, you're probably going to want a good hole saw. This is the Milwaukee. I think I'm going to drill a pilot hole first. There we go. Now we got a pretty good hole here. Before I put this exhaust back in, I'm going to go ahead and put these clips on. Now I'll go ahead and put this tailpiece back in and we'll bolt it all back up. It's time to bolt this tailpipe back up. Make sure you have your gasket on here. Nice and snug. Tailpipe, shove it on just like that. Get your clip. Once you have your bolt started, make sure everything looks good one more time and start tightening it up. I'm not going to go crazy because I want to make sure the resonator's on and in the right position before I go ahead and really get to it. So I'm just going to snug it up, but I should still be able to move this back and forth a little bit. I'm going to call that good here and move on to the resonator. To install this resonator, I'm just going to line it back up with the marks that I made earlier. And like I said, I might have to move this way, like this or this, to get it exactly where I want it. The clip's falling, but I think that's going to do it right there. Once you have your resonator lined up like you want it, or close to it, you can go ahead and put these clamps on. These are 14 millimeters, and you'll need deep wells. I'm pretty sure these clamps would completely crush this pipe, so I'm just trying to get it tight enough so there's no leaks. Once you have these all tightened down and this exactly where you want it, we can move back to where the tailpipe meets the muffler and tighten that down. I'm happy with how the resonator's lined up and the tailpipe looks out the back, so I'm going to finish tightening this down one last time. I think that'll work, so guess we can start it up and see how it sounds now. really like this new exhaust. It's pretty subtle, but just enough for someone my age, and I think it'll crispen up a little more just from breaking it in. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.